Hi everyone. I am back today with the summer stitch the season, and I am going to show you what I've done up till now. I did a little bit of this without you. I did lavender here, 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 and here, and here. So I did the lavender bits. Trust me, you didn't miss anything. Just lazy daisy. A few of them I did some little tiny bullion stitches in there. Now I'm doing a woven picot in red for this plant. I had tried to do it with Appleton's wool, and I'll be honest, it was not going well. And I thought, why am I torturing myself? I have not done the woven picot much. I did it a little bit in the Blue Lagoon, but it was a much bigger piece, and I did use wool there. Little buttons flying everywhere. So I'll show you how I did this petal. I am probably not doing something right here, so please forgive me. I do not claim to be a teacher of any sort. So I hope you'll pull up a project and come stitch with me. And I'll try to keep you company. So you just put your pin in. I put mine a little above where I wanted it because I am trying to cover up this color from the previously pre-printed fabric, and it's helpful because you've got the shape here, so it's very helpful to be able to practice this with a shape that already exists. But you can totally do this just out in the wild out somewhere out here, which I probably will do more of them. So you I hope you oh, you're not even on. Oh, Martha, you're not even on camera. All right, I'll do the other one next time. I'm sorry. So what I did was I put the pin in, right? And the pin comes out down here in the center of the flower somewhere. And so you need 3 strands. So I went up around the pin, back down, went underneath, came back up, and the 3rd strand is going to be like that, just wrapped around the top of the pin. And I start under the first one, over the center, and under the second one. So right to left, I do under, over, under. Now going back and try and nudge it up that way. Going back, I'm going to go under, over, under, I think. Nope, I just undid it. Oh my goodness. Okay, under, over, under. All right, left to right is going to be under, over, under. Right to left, oh my gosh, is just going to be over the left one, under the center one, and over the right one. So it's just under the center. If you just remember your unders, it's easiest. Ow. It's stuck in me. You can use whatever needle you need to for this. I did start this in wool. I think I said that to you already, and it didn't go well at all. I've done 4 videos in the last 2 days, and you will not see any of them because they were awful. So I am really trying to get a video out today. It'll probably be tomorrow now because it's already 3:30 in the afternoon, and my pin came out, so you have to, don't come out, you will ruin everything. So I have to put my pin back in down here. There we go. We want your pin to hold your flower in place. Don't pull it out with your thumb like I just did. Apparently my right side and my left side don't know what they're doing. They're not working together today or lately. I think there is a Mercury in retrograde or something, because things have been really wonky doodle lately for me, especially trying to video. So if you'll bear with me, pull up a project, stitch along, just hang out with me. I'm hoping things get better. All right. So you don't want to pull real tight, because I want these outside lines. I want them to cover the outside of the petal or petals. So under, over, under. So I hope this finds everybody doing well. Not struggling like I am this week. It's been about a week that I've been struggling. I don't know what's going on. Something's not where it's supposed to be. As far as the planets and the sun and the moon, maybe it's a full moon coming. I don't know. But yeah. Okay. Now, a woven picot, the petals can stand up and be kind of free floating. But since we have a pattern, that was too tight. Since we have a pattern underneath, a pre-printed flower, oh my gosh, I'm just having a time. Yes, I could use a bigger, longer pin. Not sure that would help at this point. All right. I did work a lot on my calendar. That'll be in the next video if I can get this video done and out. Gosh, I tell you, some days, some months, some weeks, it's just not a good YouTube creating atmosphere. And for some reason, it's just been that way. We've had gorgeous weather. We've been going out and spending time out and about, which after a long winter and spring here, what I consider long, I have been enjoying the nicer weather, but we are coming up on a heat wave, or a heat wave's coming up on us, I should say. So, and then pin's coming out again. Gosh. I don't know if I'm pulling it out or it's just not catching the fabric the right way. I don't know. You might notice that I am using the eye end of the needle when I'm going through, because you can't, if you get any of your thread caught in the needle, you're not going to be able to move it up the way it needs to be moved up. So you do want to make sure that you're not stabbing any of your warp threads, which are the up and down threads. You don't want to stab any of them as you're coming through. So hence I use the eye of the needle. And just keep nudging those up. Oops. Nope. Nudge, nudge. Come on, get away from there. I did find out, however, that there is a new needlework shop, I think it is. I guess they do carry mostly counted cross-stitch stuff, but I'm going to go visit it, hopefully either tomorrow or Friday maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It's on a road that I don't really like to travel on much. Lots of accidents happen on that road. People are just driving not well. I'll try not to use any bad words, but they are definitely driving not considerately and not well. And probably close to once a week, there can be a really bad accident on that road. And it's not like the speed limit's that fast. It's just people just don't, they get impatient. I've had people honk at me, flip me off. And I don't drive like a little old lady. I'm a pretty assertive driver. Wrong way, Martha. Keep your mind on what you're doing. Oh, dear me. I'm going to have to use a longer pin, I think. Methinks or something. Fix my technique. All right. I had to put my pin back, so I'm going to move you out a little bit now that you know what I'm doing. And I moved it sideways because I noticed that I was cranking this wrist this way, and I have a lot of trouble with the tendon in my thumb and arthritis in my thumb, and my wrist was starting to hurt, and I don't need that. On top of everything else that I already got going on, I don't need that. My thumb was extremely sore today, and I was having a very difficult time enjoying stitching. I don't know if it's because I was working on the little pieces from the calendar or what, but anyway. So some of the things we've been up to lately is we went to Charlottesville and I went to a quilt shop where I had sticker shock. I bought a couple of things, and I bought one thing that I'm very excited about doing. I don't know why it excites me that I found this particular thing, but I had looked online and everywhere for it, and it was not easy to find. It's from a previous year's French general, and I'd been looking for it, but I found it at this quilt shop, so I bought two, and eventually one will probably be a giveaway, maybe for the 5,000 subscribers. So we'll see. Really hard for me to give things up, but I have one, so I don't need to have another one for myself. Okay, so get to the end. The pin can finally come out, and now you have a loose, zoom in again, now you have a loose petal, so it can go in, like if you make it really long, it will start sort of curling and twisting, but because we have the pre-printed fabric underneath in a color that does not match, I want to get these to lay down. So you go back in down here to sort of anchor things, and then you come up, and you can have them sit up or you can have them lay flat. I'm going to have it sit up just the teensiest bit, but see, you can see underneath it, so that might not be a good idea. And I could even go, when I'm done, if I think the sides show the underneath color too much, I could go along the edges and just stitch those down. But I think it's a really pretty different stitch that's pretty easy to do. I mean, you can kind of get lost in the doing of it. So I'm going to try a longer pin. So I will show you the start of one more. Let me back out just a little, since I was out of camera shot. I start just above the petal because I want it to cover this particular piece. And I'm coming down here below the bottom of the petal. And then you start on the outside edge of the bottom. So I'm starting on this edge of the petal. So I'm going to have one on this edge, one on this edge, and one in the center. So start down here, bring your thread around the top of the pin. All right. And I'm not pulling really tight, so I need to loosen that a little bit so that I know that it will cover the edge of this petal. Back down on this side over here. And then I will come up the center. The problem is the pin is in the center, so I'm trying to get it to come up. There. You just aim your needle that way from the left side, and then you come around one more time because you need 3 strands. You need an uneven amount of strands. And I'm going to hold that one over there with my thumb, and then I use the eye of the needle and I start weaving. So under, over, under to lock in. There you go. And then I'm going to go under this center one, coming back, under, over, under, and I'm going to nudge those threads up with my needle, and then I'm going to turn this way because it's just easier, because my thumb and my wrist are hurting again. And then back, just under, going in that direction. And then under, over, under. So from right to left, I go over, under, over. And then coming back, I just go under the center one. And then you want to keep nudging these threads up. And you don't want to use the point of your needle, because if you get one of these weft threads through one of the warp threads. So the warp threads are the ones that go up and down, okay? And the ones that go back and forth are weft. So you don't want to get your weft threads, you don't want to get the thread through them, because through the warp, because then you can't nudge it up. If you're going to get the needle through this thread and skewer that thread like that, it's not going to work. So again, just going under the center one to come back and nudge it up. Kind of get your thumb to help you. Don't pull too tight because I want this to be a wide petal. Then under, over, under, nudge, nudge with the needle, and back up. Okay? Under. So I'm going to go off and do the rest of these petals. Oopsies. I don't know how I'm going to do the petals behind. I may just individually stitch those and not do woven ones. I've not decided yet. Need more. Oh, I pulled too tight. Ay, ay, ay. Nudge, nudge, gently pull, nudge, nudge, under, over, under. Make sure you're going under and over, not through those threads. Gently pull, under, Nudge, nudge. Okay. But see this one behind, I might just do that as a stitched thread. I mean thread stitched petal. Oh my goodness gracious me. You're all gonna have to get me committed if I keep this up. Geesh. 4 videos and none of them worth posting. So I'll be back when I finish these, and then we will work on the center of the flower, and I will show you what they all look like, and we'll just keep going along, as it were. They do take some time. They take some thread. Now, if you were to run out of thread in the middle of a petal, I would, since I am stitching these down, I would, come on now. Thank you. I would just simply stitch down through the fabric, knot off the thread that you have, and then I would start a new thread. If you're doing standalone petals where you're not stitching them down, you definitely want to make sure you have enough thread before you start the new petal. You do not want to run out of thread in the middle of weaving, because it won't work very well. And I'll tell you, it's easy to just sort of get lost in your thoughts when you're just doing this simple technique, but you get such a pretty result from it. So I'll just finish this one, maybe. Oh my goodness. And it may be tomorrow before I get back here to finish this video. So I do apologize that my videos have been sort of haphazard lately. But as I said, we've been busy trying to enjoy the weather, because when it gets hot, I can't go out. It's just too much on me. One more, I think. Okay. And if this pin gets in your way, you can always take the pin out before you're finished. So that would look like this. And if you wanted to get one more row in there, you just go in here, go under the first one, go under the third one, maybe. Woo, come on. I know you're in there. There you are. This needle does have a big eye, so there. And then what we're going, still got buttons flying all over the place. Sheesh. And then what we're going to do is go back down in here to anchor it. And then I'm going to come up come on, right where I had the head of the pin. I'm going to come up there. This petal wants to go all over the place except where it's supposed to come up through the tip of that petal. And you could put little knots up here if you wanted to. I choose not to. I like the little point when I can get a point. That one came out well. This one did not come out so well. That one came out okay. So I get better as I go on. So that's it. And I'll be back to show you the finished flower. Alrighty, I am back. So it is the next day and I did the rest of the petals. I'm extremely pleased with the way they came out. One thing I didn't mention is when you do these petals and you do them with a pin and they are free floating, you can twist them. So this one I twisted, and this one I twisted a little bit. You know, they're just, some of them are just twisted. You can twist them and stitch them down. This one's a little wonky looking because, well, this one's very twisted. I don't know if that's showing up at all. Right there. I literally flipped it over and stitched it down. But then I ended up having to cover a petal behind here, and I just did straight stitches. I'm not sure that was the right idea, but from a distance, it doesn't look bad, I don't think. So I'm good with that. Yeah, I will do more flowers, maybe some smaller ones over here. You can't see where I'm pointing. Maybe some smaller ones over here somewhere with that stitch. I could do this one, but I would definitely do it in a different color. This one sort of sets behind, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I did go to, sorry, I'm like, who turned out the lights? You did. I went to a new shop today, and I found this silk ribbon there. It was pricey. Let me tell you that. I've never heard of this brand, and the shop is fairly new to the area, and they don't have prices on anything. And you know, I don't know about you. This is thicker than I thought it was, but that's okay. I didn't even look at the size. It's 5.5 yards, 7 millimeter, 5 meters / 5.5 yards. So it's 7 millimeter thick yarn. So I may use this on one of these, not on that one. I don't know that I would use it on that one. Maybe on this one. Maybe I'll make this one pink. That would be the right size for that. So I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, $8. My husband said, you need to ask from now on how much it is. Not that he was complaining. He did not say a word about me. I love my eye. He did not say a word about anything. He just said, you need to speak up and ask. You know, I make it sound like he's complaining. He was not complaining about me buying the silk thread. So I just want to clarify that. I feel bad that I spent that much money. That's just an inbred thing in me to be try to be frugal, try to find the best prices of things. So anyhow, alrighty. So that is done. And my little lavender is all done. I know I showed you that at the beginning, but I'll show it again. And so now I just have to do the stem that goes with this flower. But I guess I should do that before I do this flower. But I want to do the inside here. So I'm going to move the camera up so I don't hit it. I'm going to, zoom in a little bit. And I don't know, what color should I use for the center there? I can't hear you, so I'm going to have to choose a color. Let me pull my little bag of goodies out here. I want something bright and contrasting, I think. Ooh, that's bright and contrasting. I like it. Yep, not that piece. Not quite enough. And we are going to do knots. So, well, maybe I could start with that piece. How many strands? 2? No. I'll just cut a new set here. I won't take too much more of your time. I did notice that the first part of this is close to 30 minutes, I think. So we'll just do some French knots in here, which shouldn't take me long, knock wood. When I say that, everything could go wrong from this point forward, but let's hope not. Haha, let's hope not. I got up in a better mood today than I've been in the last few days, so at least there's that. That's always a good feeling. It is hot. Holy cow, we were out today, ran to the grocery store. Well, we didn't run, we drove to the grocery store, and we have to drive about 30-ish minutes to get to the grocery store. And when we came out, I mean, it was already 80 at 9:30. And we came out and we got 4 things. We got tomatoes, strawberries, and something else. Tomatoes, strawberries. What the heck else did we get? I don't remember. Anyway, when we came out like 10 minutes later, not even, it was already like 85. Oh, gee whizzikers, it's hot. And in the next at least 10 days, it's going to be in the 90s. And I think I mentioned that earlier in the video, but this is okay, don't know where that came from. Oh, that must have come from my little bucket. Okay, 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. But anywho, yeah, it's going to be hot, and I have an appointment we have to go to next week. I think it's on the 20th, whatever day that falls on. I can't remember if it's Wednesday or Thursday or what. But anyhow, it's supposed to be like 94, and there's one day it's supposed to be 97. Oh, yeah. And we don't just get heat here, we get the humidity that comes along with it typically. But even a dry heat here is not a dry heat, so come on. Yeah, so if you haven't done the woven Picot stitch, give it a shot. If you didn't catch what I was doing, or you want me to do an entire flower, you can say so below in the comments. But I'm trying to do a little bit shorter videos, only because, I mean, I don't want y'all to get bored. And yes, this is very contrasting, but I like that. So this is 3 strands of the 6-strand floss from DMC. Yeah, this little shop had, I think, every color of DMC, including most, well, see, now I don't know. I'm not sure they had all of the variegated threads. They had some, but I mean, it was a very well-stocked shop. Their wool, I was looking at their wool threads. I have to unwind my needle. Okay. I was looking at the wool threads, and they're not like the other wool. This wool isn't like the others. Yeah, I couldn't tell you what the difference is, but like DMC wool is fuzzy, right? It looks like wool. And the Appleton's wool is it looks like wool to me. Like this looks like wool. And their wool was smoother. I don't know what they did to it, but it was $8 a skein, and it looked more like it was more like this. This is a mercerized cotton from DMC, and it looked more like this. Boy, that color does not show up at all like it should on this camera, ever. That's a little closer. That's daylight. It's a little greener than what it's showing up there. But this is gray, and that's not showing up gray at all on the camera. But anyhow, yeah. Let me put it back to where I like it. So this is what their wool looked like. This is not it. I didn't buy any, but that's what it looked like. So I wasn't thrilled with that. They had lots of silk thread, thick and thin, very pretty, beautiful, beautifully stocked shop. And they do a sit and stitch in the I think it's Tuesday evenings from 4 to 7. And it's not too far away from me. It's not where the grocery store is. It's not a 30-minute drive. I could go out the back gate of our community and drive on a road that I don't really like to drive on because there are always lots of accidents, which I think I mentioned earlier. But I could definitely get there and back. But 4 to 7, why 4 to 7? When do you eat dinner? Okay, here's a question for you. Tell me in the comments, what time do you eat dinner? Let me know. We eat very early. We eat at 5. We want to be able to digest our food before we go to bed. And Tony likes to eat really early. I'd rather eat around 5:30. Well, in reality, I would love to eat my breakfast at 10 and then have like fruit and stuff and then have my dinner at maybe 3:30 or 4. But that's not how Tony likes to eat, so we don't eat that way. All right. I need to do the stem too, but this is already 12 minutes long, thereabouts. So I don't want to bore you guys with this video, and I don't want to rush through the stem. And you've seen me do the other stem, I think. I think you've seen me do stems, but if not, I guess I could start it. I think I'll use this. And I'll just start it real quick. Anyway. But it's one night a week. I could bring something to eat, I guess. I don't know, I didn't ask. Or I guess I could eat at 3:30 and then go. I don't know. Maybe that's the day that I eat early and okay. Ooh, I don't want to go through it. Now, I'm going to try something here. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but we shall give it a shot. But it might be fun to go sit and stitch with these people, but they do mostly cross stitch and needlepoint. And yeah, that's not my thing. Now, I didn't meet the owner. I'm gonna go down and come back up. I met one of the employees, and she was very, very nice. She lives in the opposite direction that we live. So, yep, but they've been to Maine. So we were talking about places in Maine. Come on, Martha, quit catching. Yeah, so that was cool. When I do this petal on this flower, I'll just make sure I go over that stem like it's supposed to be. Follow the right stem down this way. fill this in. But I guess I'd have to meet the people first. I'm very, I don't know. I've always felt very different from other people. Like other people don't always get me. And I can easily feel very out of place and like I don't fit in. So it's really hard for me to go somewhere and meet new people. So, oh, and I have another story to tell you, but that's going to have to wait for the next video, which I think I'll be working on the calendar in the next video. And then maybe the video after that, I'm going to start another project like the Blue Lagoon. I think I've mentioned all of these things previously, but that was yesterday, and who can remember? I don't. For you, it's in the same video, so you're going to be rolling your eyes going, why does she keep repeating herself? Because it's a different day. And all the thoughts are new. They sound familiar, so I'm sure I said it already. But all the thoughts are new to me. Oh, Martha. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted a simple... I'll have to do the leaves too, I guess. Because I'm thinking... Now, to me, these leaves look like they're coming off of this stem. This leaf looks like it's coming off of this stem. Because they're two different leaves. Well, 3 different leaves, but these 3 are the same and that one's different. So I'm pretty sure that this is the leaf that comes off of this stem. So I'll have to do that too. But that's all I'm doing for the stem. And yes, I'm making everything different. Even if they look the same on the fabric that the designer made, I'm doing them differently because I want this to be full of fun, eclectic meanderings of flowers for the summer garden. So that's what I'm going by. All right, that's it. Give the woven Picot stitch a try and you'll love it once you get the hang of it. It can be a little hairy getting going, starting that weaving, but it's really fun. And if you want to make a big flower, you can put 5 warps in. You could put 7 warps in, just weave in and out of each one. And it can be as wide as you want it to be. So there it is. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me. And I hope you had fun working on your own projects. And I will see you in the next one. Take care. Happy crafting and find your joy. Be you. Bye.